All right, let's get right into it. If you're an employee at Punjab University, this explainer is your roadmap to getting your Leave Travel Concession claim for 2025-26 approved. We're talking zero objections, zero headaches. So, you're thinking about using your LTC for a nice trip this year, right? Fantastic. But before you start packing those bags, there are a few things you absolutely need to know first. And here's a word of warning. The path to getting your money back isn't exactly a straight line. It's more like a minefield of little rules and procedural traps just waiting to get your claim rejected. So what's the single biggest hurdle standing between you and getting that reimbursement? It's the final audit. Now think of this less as a person and more like a final boss, a super strict gatekeeper that's going to scrutinize every single detail of your claim. Our mission today is to make your claim completely and totally audit-proof. Okay, let's dive in. Section 1, the starting line. This covers all the critical prep work you have to do before your trip even begins. There are 3 absolute non-negotiable steps here. First, you have to verify you're even eligible. Second, you have to officially declare where you're going. And third, and this is key, you need to get prior permission. You get any of these wrong and your claim is basically dead on arrival. So, do you actually qualify? Well, it's pretty straightforward. For a hometown concession, or HTC, you just need 1 year of regular service under your belt. For an LTC to any place in India, you need to have completed at least 4 years of regular service. Now, please pay very close attention to this rule. No post facto sanction is allowed. This is a huge pitfall. You cannot go on your trip and then ask for permission afterward. It just doesn't work. It's an automatic, guaranteed rejection every single time. And that brings us to the all-important Annexure A form. If it's not signed by your head of department before you leave, it's game over. A missing signature means automatic rejection. It really is that simple. All right, let's move on to Section 2, the booking battlefield. I'm calling it a battlefield because, honestly, this is where most people make the most common and definitely the most expensive mistakes. So listen up, because this is crucial. Your claim lives or dies based on where you book your tickets. The only approved authorized agents are IRCTC, Balmer Larian Company, and Ashok Travels and Tours. That's it. If you book through Make My Trip, GoBebo, or literally any other private website, your claim will be rejected. This is the #1 reason claims fail. Now, if you're entitled to air travel, you need to listen up. There is a critical new rule for the 2025-26 block that could completely ground your claim if you don't know about it. It's called the 21-day and 3-hour air travel rule. Here's how it works. 1, you must book your flight at least 21 days before your journey. 2, you have to search for flights within a specific 3-hour time slot. 3, you have to choose the absolute cheapest flight available in that window. And 4, you must take a screenshot of the entire search results page. And to be perfectly clear, that screenshot is not optional. It's your mandatory proof to the auditor that you actually chose the lowest possible fare. Without it, you can expect your claim to be seriously questioned. All right, you've done your prep, you've booked through the right channels, and you've had a great trip. Now for Section 3, securing your claim and crossing that finish line. So, let me ask you this. What do you think is the single most common reason air travel claims are rejected, even when everything else seems totally perfect? Missing boarding passes. I know, it sounds so simple, but this little piece of paper is what trips up countless employees every single year. You have to keep them safe. Let's be crystal clear about this. Without a boarding pass, digital or physical, doesn't matter, your reimbursement for that flight is 0. Not partial, 0. The ticket proves you bought a seat. The boarding pass proves you were actually on the plane. And remember, a clock starts ticking the moment you return. If you took a travel advance, you have exactly 1 month to submit your final bill. If you didn't take an advance, you get 3 months. But if you miss that final deadline, your claim is forfeited permanently. We're in the home stretch now. Let's move to our final section, your audit-proof takeaway. This is where we put it all together to guarantee you a smooth and successful claim. This table shows the final red flags you need to watch for. For senior staff, avoid booking those pricey flexi fares. They will only cover the lowest economy fare. For other staff, don't use a private taxi or your own car when public transport is available. And for everyone, double-check the family dependency income rules. Oh, and remember that a weekend-only trip has to have at least 1 day of sanctioned leave attached to it. So what is a perfect audit-proof claim? It really just boils down to these three pillars. 1, you have prior permission with that signed Annexure A. 2, you used an authorized booking agent and only an authorized agent. And 3, you have all your complete documents, tickets, every single boarding pass, and that mandatory flight search screenshot.
If you follow these steps, you won't just be submitting a claim, you'll be submitting a fortress that no audit objection can possibly penetrate. So, the final question is, are you ready to conquer the LTC gauntlet?